All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. I know it's a little bit later than usual. However, um, I got stuff to do, y'all. I got stuff to do. So, guys, let me know in the chat if the audio is okay. I want to make sure everybody can hear me and that everything is good. That everything is good. Let me know. And shout out to Mac Will, who says, shout out to Jesus. Let's do this. Yes, guys, may you all be blessed in the mighty name of Jesus, the Messiah, the God of Israel. Cool, cool. All right, let's do it. All Gucci. It's all Gucci. Audio. Nice, nice. Cam says the audio can be heard from his power rack. Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, let's get into this. Let us get into this. Let's start with good old Bitcoin here, guys. Good old Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is looking quite bullish. I'm going to start on the bigger time frame. We got this low wave right here on the daily time frame. Market Cipher B telling us VWAP is crossing over, still looking mighty strong. That VWAP is still looking mighty strong. We did get this low wave down here, and I was just saying, I made a quick update a few nights ago saying that, whenever we get a daily wave this low, it leads to some awesome stuff, right? Leads to some awesome stuff. So, I have been long from one of my accounts for quite a while. Just going to hold on to that. I'm currently short from 55K because that was a resistance that I was looking to target. Actually, I was looking to scalp long yesterday from 54 to 55. Didn't work out the best, actually. Didn't work out the best. I actually posted it in the Discord here. And yesterday, took a nice short, the resistance of 54K. When we got the retest, saw this nice direction on Market Cipher. We came down, boom, hit the support at 53K. And then we got a nice bounce from that 53K. And then I was looking to continue to long once we came up above 54K. I was thinking to myself we were going to get a nice little continuation here, but we didn't. We just kind of consolidated in this area a little bit longer before we ended up hitting that $55,000 target. But that's okay. That's okay. So guys, okay. On the 1 hour time frame, let's zoom out. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. So as you know, we were following this trend line from December 10th. From December 10th, December 9th, Bitcoin was trading on this trend line. We had a bounce, and we touched it actually twice right here. And then what happened was we lost that trend line. We lost the trend line, which to me was very bearish. The fact that we were trading on a trend line from the beginning of December and we lost it, it was very bearish. However, we did find some very good support down here on this level of $48.5 thousand. You can see for 3 days, 1, 2, 3, we found support here. Not only did we find support there, but we also did find support on this white line here, which is the 100-day moving average, the 100-day EMA, actually, the exponential moving average. And as we're finding this support, what happens? Boom. We print this wave down here on the daily. We get a massive bounce to the upside. And that's when I made that quick update. And right now we can actually see on the daily time frame that the money flow is starting to curve up a little bit, right? A little sign of hope. A little sign of hope. What do I think is going to happen here? Well, honestly, guys, if I had to guess anything, and of course this is not financial advice, right? This is simply just me telling you my opinion on the market, of course, like I always say, if you mistake this for financial advice, not only will you lose all your Bitcoin, but you will also lose all your fiat currency. You will lose all your Ethereum. You will lose all your Dogecoin right before it pumps to the moon. All your friends will stop talking to you. You'll have chronically bad breath, and every time you go to work, nobody's going to want to talk to you, and they're not going to tell you why, because it's too awkward to say, hey, your breath stinks. And so you're going to be walking around thinking that everyone hates you. Really, it's just your bad breath. It's really just your bad breath. You need to fix that. You need to fix that. Have a Tic Tac. Have a Tic Tac. Black coffee is so good. So if I had to guess, I would assume that we are going to continue trading in some kind of consolidation range, right? I would say it's very possible, and I think it's looking like on Market Cipher on the higher time frames that we're going to come up and retest this falling wedge, and then potentially get a move back to the downside. Okay, potentially even get a move down to the low 40s potentially, or we might even come up and test this resistance here at around 61,000 before getting another move to the downside as well. That's what I think. The reason I think that, guys, is because usually whenever we hit a new all-time high and then we get a dump, like back here in January, for example, we can see that we had the we had the move up, and then we had a dump, and then we got a bounce, and the bounce wasn't quite to the all-time high, and then we got another dump down. And so it kind of happens in three waves, right? 1, 2, 3. And we kind of see that pattern playing out many places, right? We see that here too. When we come down, 1, 2, 3. We see that here as well. Pretty much every time we hit a new all-time high, that's what we see. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. Right now, things are looking quite bullish on the daily time frame because we bounced off the 100 EMA. If we turn back on the 21 EMA, you can see that we're rejecting off of it right now. And that 21 EMA kind of gave us some confluence with this resistance line right here at about $55,000 thereabout. And so really what I'm looking for is if we're able today to come up above this 21 EMA, then I think that's, to me, that means we're going to retest this falling wedge for sure. And areas of resistance, obviously, are the falling wedge itself. Where would I be looking? Where would I be looking to enter a short? Well, obviously, whenever we come to a resistance, I'm looking to enter at least a scalp short. But on the daily time frame, I would say that we do have some resistances. We have some resistances coming up before we get to this. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame right now. The 4-hour time frame is also looking very bullish. Check this out, guys. Check this out. We formed a double bottom, a very nice double bottom here on the 4-hour time frame, which usually when we get, and not all the time, but usually when we get a bottom where the money flow is in the green, and then we get another bottom where the money flow is in the purple, this usually signifies to us that we have come to the bottom for a while. Again, we kind of got this double bottom thing right here, this W pattern kind of right here, a little bit, not really a W. Maybe it's a W. And we can clearly see right now the money flow is starting to curve up. The money flow is starting to curve up. Something else we can see, though, is that we need to cool off. We need to cool off on the 4-hour, right? The wave is getting pretty high, and there is upward potential here. There absolutely is still upward potential. However, when we go down to the 3-hour, it looks like we need to cool off a little bit. But we can see that the money flow is very, very clearly curving up. To me, this means we have more upward movement coming to us after, we maybe consolidate a little bit at this resistance of around 55,000, just like how yesterday we consolidated around this resistance at 54,000. Shout out to Andrew Sykes in the chat. Do I have a name for my rooster? Yeah, his name is, my favorite rooster for now. My favorite rooster for now, his name is Cockadoo. Cockadoo. I think my daughter might have named him that. Potentially, my daughter could have named him that. Yeah, so if we reject off of this a little bit or consolidate a little bit, then it looks like, when this money flow crosses over on the 4 hour, that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing. We haven't really had, let's just take a look at this on the 4 hour. Money flow came all the way down to negative 32. I'm going to draw a horizontal line at negative 32. When was the last time we had money flow coming down to negative 32 on the 4 hour time frame? I don't think it's happened. It hasn't happened since the Corona dump. It has not happened since the Corona dump. Okay? So that's super significant. And now we see this thing curving to the upside. Right now, money flow on the 4 hour is still in the red, but it's like where it was back, in March when we had that consolidation dump in March, or also back in January when we had that, that consolidation kind of dump in January. And look at what happens when the money flow on the 4 hour crosses from the purple into the blue, or red into the green if you're using traditional colors. We get a massive move to the upside. So, as far as money coming back into Bitcoin, things are looking quite good. We see that we do need to cool off a little bit, though, right? The VWAP, it was very poignant and pointy, and then it kind of, it needs to cool off a little bit. That's all. So maybe we could get a red dot and a green dot, something similar to what we got going on here on the 3 hour. Red dot, green dot. You guys ever play that game when you were a kid? Red dot, green dot. Shout out to Alex Smith. Can I please explain the difference in macro and micro? Yeah, I will. I can. Yeah, I can. Basically, I'm starting in the macro now, and I'm zooming down to the micro. And this is the 3 hour time frame right here. Interesting how, if you just mess around with moving averages, guys, you can find a lot of interesting places to enter trades and stuff. Like, it's just interesting how we found some kind of a support and a resistance level right here on the 3 hour 100 moving average. I haven't even really been looking at that at all, but it's just a reality. Yeah, we can see now on the 2 hour time frame that the money flow has indeed crossed over. We can see that the money flow crossover is actually what gave us this pump here. And now, again, we see we need to cool off a little bit. And really, after we cool off, I'm expecting us to get another move to the upside, just because things are looking so bullish, at least in the medium term. Because I've been expecting us to at least retest this falling wedge. And when we get up to this falling wedge, definitely I will be looking for a short position. And then if we blast through this, or what very well might happen is something like this. We come down, we get a bounce off of another area, and then we come up again. We test the 61K, and then we come down, maybe reject off of here, come down, reject off of there again. See what happens. We'll see what happens. But for right now, it's very clear that, at least at the 2 hour, things are looking quite bullish. Again, the last time we had the money flow cross from the red into the green on the 2 hour was right here. We had a massive pump. Then we had basically what I'm expecting, right? We need to cool off a little bit, and then we had a move to the upside where we hit a new all-time high. So right now, we get this money flow cross. I think we need to cool off a little bit, consolidate, maybe have move to the downside, which is why I'm currently in a short right now. But I'm still in a long. I'm in a long on one account. I'm shorting from another account. The 1 hour, I mean, look at this on the 1 hour, right? It's just looking good. The money flow is getting thicker. Obviously, we do need to cool off a little bit, but things are just looking pretty nice as far as Bitcoin goes. On these larger time frames down to the lower time frames. So the way we're going to analyze this when we're looking at Bitcoin or any asset is we're going to always start with the larger time frames. And when we're looking at the larger time frames, what do we want to look for? We want to just analyze our environment. So on the daily, we can see that we're clearly bullish. How do we know that? Well, because we got a very significant bounce off of the support. We got a bullish engulfing candle. We're having a wave that just printed on the daily time frame with a VWAP that is pointing to the upside, right? These things are bullish. But we can see we're rejecting off of resistance right now. So because we're rejecting off of resistance, we need to zoom in a little bit to see, okay, what is going on? Can we expect another move to the upside, or can we expect a move to the downside? What's going to happen? So that's when we go down to the 4 hour, and we just analyze things and say, okay, we're rejecting off of a resistance. We're getting a clear rejection on the 4 hour off of this resistance around $55,000, which just so happens to line up perfectly with this 100 moving average, EMA. We can see we're about to print a red wave here on the 4 hour, which means we need to cool off a little bit. But look at the money flow. The money flow is curving up, which is a bullish sign, because the money flow is really the most powerful thing that we're looking for on Market Cipher, right? When the money flow curves to the red on the 4 hour, we get a move down. When the money flow curves into the green on the 4 hour, right, we get the move up. So we can see that the money flow is starting to move up. So that's putting into our mind, okay, the daily's looking bullish, we're rejecting off resistance, but when I go to a lower time frame, I can see, okay, even though we're rejecting off of a resistance, I can see we do need to come down a little bit. We need to consolidate, come down, cool off, but I can tell that money is coming into Bitcoin because of the way that the money flow is crossing to the upside. Then we might go down to the 3 hour and see, wow, look at this. The money flow is really about to curve over on the 3 hour. And look what happened the last time the money flow curved on the 3 hour. Right now, the money flow is right on the cusp of a curve, right on the cusp of a curve, on the cusp of a curve, on the Krispy Kreme, right? It's the Krispy Kreme cusp. And if we just draw a vertical line here, the last time we had a Krispy Kreme cusp on the 3 hour, we can see that money flow crossover led to a very significant pump to the upside. And what happened right before that money flow crossover? Consolidation at a resistance. And so that's kind of what I'm expecting now, right? Consolidation on a resistance, or maybe coming down. And then if that money flow crosses over, it's looking pretty dang bullish. And then we zoom in even lower to the 2 hour. And we say, wow, okay, we did just get a money flow crossover, but clearly we need to cool off a little bit. We need to cool off a little bit. We're getting a little too hot and heavy. We need to take it easy. We need to chill. We need to chill out. And so, RSI, super, super high RSI. I mean, this RSI is so high. It's 97.8. 97.8. That's pretty high for an RSI. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's super high. That's super high. Usually when the RSI gets that high, like right here, the RSI got that high. We consolidated for a little bit. Where else did the RSI get that high? Right here, the RSI got that high. We consolidated for a little bit. Right here, the RSI got that high. And we still had a little move to the upside. Then we consolidated a little bit. So just something to keep in mind, right? The RSI getting pretty high on the 2 hour. And then we can zoom in even further. We can go to the 1 hour and see, okay, the money flow is clearly heading in the direction of getting thicker, right? overall. Overall, the money flow is heading in the thicker direction. We can see that we're printing waves now exclusively above the zero line, and we see that just this upward direction in general. And that, you know, then we can keep going. We can go down to the 24-minute. What do we see on the 24-minute? Well, the 24-minute, it's a little bit more difficult to read because we're zoomed in so much. But we can see that there's been a lot of money flow crisscross, but really the money flow has been in the green since yesterday. But here's something else. This is important that we can see on the 24-minute. Look at this WAP, okay? Look at this VWAP. It's coming down, right? It's coming down pretty hard. And when we just look at the direction and the poignancy of this WAP, right, we can tell that we need to come down a little bit, right? We need to come down. We just hit a resistance. We need to come down. And that's what we're doing. We're coming down. So we can tell now on the higher time frames, the daily's telling us we're bullish. The 4 hours telling us we're bullish, but we need to cool off a little bit. When we come down to the 24-minute, we can see, okay, yeah, we need to cool off. We really need to cool off. And then we're going to be watching these lower time frames to see, okay, when should I get out of my short position if you're shorting this resistance, right? Obviously, we'd be looking down here back at the $54,000 level, but there's intermediate levels, right? Like right here, I would say this, around 54.3. Definitely an area that I'm looking to take profits. And then we assess the sitch from the higher to the lower time frames. When we see, whoa, I just got a trading alert. It blasted my ears out. When we see the higher time frames are looking bullish, and then the lower time frames are giving us those bullish signals, that's when we want to get into a trade. And really, it really comes down to, if we come down to a support, if we come up to a resistance, then we're going to be looking at the lower time frames to try and see where the momentum is heading. So, you know, for example, just as an example, where did we short? Where did I short yesterday? I'll show you guys my thought process behind the short and why I entered the trade. So, okay, short setup. We were retesting the resistance at 54K. There was a bearish divergence on the 6-minute, and the money flow was crossing down on the 6-minute. So let me just walk you through, you know, kind of what I'm looking for. So we came up, right? We came up. We hit the resistance once. We came down. We hit the resistance twice. Okay, so if and the opposite would be true for a long. Come up, you hit a resistance, you get a rejection. You come back up, you're retesting the resistance, you're getting a rejection. Okay, second time you're getting a rejection. That to me is like, okay, we've confirmed that this is resistance, and we're not going to pass through there for now. The second thing I'm looking for is on the lower time frames. This is the 6-minute. We can clearly see that as price is coming up, momentum is coming down on Market Cipher B. And if you don't have Market Cipher, you can click the link in the description of this video and get a sweet 5% discount. We can see that momentum waves are getting lower on average, right? They're coming lower. And we can also see that the money flow is coming down. So price is going up, momentum is coming down, and money is leaving Bitcoin. So what do we want to do in that situation? Well, we want to short. We want to short the Bitcoin. That's what we want to do. And so we do short the Bitcoin, and you know, we come down, right? We come down, come up, come down, come up, zigging and zagging, and eventually, what happens is, you know, we come down, we hit that final support down there at 53, okay? And this was, you know, a major take profit area. And then we take our profits and we wait and see, are we going to keep coming down more or not? We take out some profit. We take out some profit enough so that it guarantees that we're winning the trade. We leave some on the table just so that in case it keeps going down, we can make more money. Right? And so That's how you're going to look for the trades. And honestly, guys, I know a lot of people, it can be a little nerve-wracking to enter the trade, but you just need to make sure you have your confirmations. And as you're getting that rejection, that second rejection, that's confirmation number 1. You're looking at Market Cipher to give you confluence. That's confirmation number 2. And then you have a really good entry here, because you can say, okay, I'm going to put my stop loss above the resistance, because I know if we come up above this resistance, then my trade is invalidated, and I take a small loss and then look for the next trade. But I have a lot of things telling me that we're going to come down, so I'm going to enter that trade there, and we're going to come down. So right now, when we come to the support down here at 54K there, roundabouts, what will we be looking for? If we're looking for an entry, we'll be looking for price coming down, momentum coming up on Market Cipher on the lower time frames. What would be best is if we come down and we get a retest like that, and then we can enter long right here. We can put our stop loss under the support and set our take profits, up along the way. And that's how you're going to find those good entries. Now, Mark Neal says, how much above/below the resistance? What do you use to determine that? Well, it really depends. If you're trading so if you're trading a breakout, right? Let's say you're trading a breakout, and you want to long the breakout of. Okay, so Mark is asking, how do you know where to put your stop loss? If you're trading a breakout, and let's say we break out of 55K, and you come up, breakout. I want to see a retest, and when we get the retest, that's when I want to enter into the long trade. If we see that, what we can do is we can enter the bounce, and we can put our stop loss very, very tight. Very, very tight. The reason we can put it tight is because we already got the retest, and so if price comes down below that support, then we know, okay, I was wrong about the bounce. I was wrong, so I need to get out of the trade. I need to get out of the trade because I was wrong. But price will, if it continues upward, then we're right, and so we can have a pretty tight stop loss. However, if we're trading a reversal, right, like if we're longing a support, okay, instead of longing a resistance, because technically, the reason we wait for the retest is because it confirms that resistance has been flipped into support. But let's say, for example, we come down here and we find support around here, like we get, because usually what happens is we'll find support like this, and then we move to the upside. If that's the case, then, I long the retest, but I like to put the stop loss below the last swing low. And sometimes you might not want to take these trades, because if the last swing low is like way down here, that might not fit into your risk management strategy. And guys, if you want to learn all this stuff, like if you're new to trading and you want to gain the knowledge and skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, check out the course, jasoncaspertrading.com. I'll throw it into the chat real quick, jasoncaspertrading.com. It will basically walk you through everything you need to know, everything I'm talking about here in detail. It's for complete beginners, and then we go through technical analysis. We go through how to use Market Cipher, how to find the best trades, how to create your own trading strategy, which is very important. And then I actually give you strategies that I use for myself. And then we talk about mindset, risk management, all those good things. Check it out, jasoncaspertrading.com. Dirty Bay 80 says 5% too tight. No, it's never too tight, guys. It's never too tight. We have to make sure our stop loss is smart. We need to make sure our stop loss is safe and effective. Safe and effective, right? I love those two words together. I'm sure Memory Man does too. We have to make sure our stop loss is safe and effective. And what I mean by that is the percentage itself doesn't matter. What matters is it's in a smart place, which makes it safe for us to put our stop loss there, and it also makes it effective. Because if people are saying, okay, I'm going to do a 5% stop loss or a 1% stop loss without looking at the actual trade setup, then it's meaningless. It's meaningless. The purpose of the stop loss is because when you're entering a trade, you need to have a plan. And when you have this plan, the stop loss is there to cut your losses if things do not go according to your plan. So if I'm coming down here and we get a very clean bounce off of here, one, and then we get a retest, and then we come back up, it is safe and effective for me to enter the second bounce, right, the retest, and then put my stop loss very, very tight below the support, because the price already showed me twice that it's respecting this level of support. And so that makes it effective and safe. It's safe because I've been already shown by the price action that this is the support. Price is not going to come below that. It's effective because if price does deviate from my plan, that we're getting a retest and a bounce to the upside, then it keeps my losses very low. However, if you're just entering a trade willy-nilly, or you don't have a good entry that's not close to a resistance or a support or a moving average, then you might have to put a really bad stop loss. Like if I wanted to enter, let's say I wanted to enter long right here, right? And I say, okay, I'm entering long, but I don't want to risk more than 1%, so I put my stop loss at 1%. Well, I have no reason to put my stop loss at 1%, right? There's no rhyme or reason to this trade entry. You need to have the good setups, and the setups will determine your stop loss, and the setups will also determine the percentage of your account that you put on the trade. Because if you know I'm not going to risk more than 1% of my account, right? Then, if you're in a trade where, for example, let's say that you have to have a stop loss that's pretty low. So like, let's say you want to enter long right here and you want to put your stop loss below the last swing low. In order for that to be safe, you have to do the 1.5% stop loss. And so if you don't ever want to risk more than 1% of your account, then you need to use less than your whole account to enter this trade here. Or you can play with your leverage to get it to the right risk-reward ratio and all that stuff. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope that makes sense. People want to know what it means to, like, what time frame do you use for the retest? I usually use a lower time frame, but I like to wait to see structure kind of forming here. I like to wait and see structure kind of forming. What I mean by that is I like to see, and I prefer to see, when we come down to a support or a resistance, I like to see price kind of play there for a while before we come up, like right here. I actually did. I missed the initial bounce here, which was so crazy. It's so crazy, right? I shorted this dip, and then I closed my position instead of longing the bounce, right? So I missed that initial bounce. But what I did do was I longed once we got up here, and the reason I longed once we got up there is because I saw that price was kind of playing with this area, right? We were consolidating here, and we were following this trend line. So when I saw that we came down again and retested this, that's where I entered the long. So it was over the course of, from April 25th at 22 o'clock to April 26th early in the morning that I waited for this, that I waited for that. So it really depends on a lot of factors. It really does depend on a lot of factors. But you could have just retested, like we come down, right? We retest and come up. You could have just longed that. It's there's a lot of different ways to do it. The most important thing, guys, is that your entries are good. That's the most important thing. If your entries are good, then it will keep your losses low. It will keep your losses low. So like yesterday, I entered this trade right here, okay? And I should have taken profit because the trade came halfway to the first take profit, but then it got stopped out. This trade was a very good entry because my stop loss, the stop loss that I actually used was 0.3%. 0.3%. And I didn't, I wasn't even using my whole account. I wasn't using my whole scalping account for it, but my stop loss was very, very tight, 0.3%. Let's go back in time to that. When was that? Let's see. 1:37 p.m. on the 1 minute time frame. I was getting desperate. Using the 1 minute. Let's see here. 1:37 p.m. yesterday. Where was that? Right around. I can't find it now, guys. Oh yeah, right around here, I think. I don't even know now. I really don't even know. Dang. Yeah, I don't know now. Isn't that a shame? Because it was a good. It could have been right here. Yeah, I think it was right here. I don't know. I'm not going to try and find it. But the point is, I had an entry that was very, very tight. Right, I entered like somewhere. Let's say I think it was around here, where I had my take profit set up all the way up here, and I had a tight stop loss. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was this it? I don't know. But basically, and I could have, and I should have, but I was busy planting potatoes. But I could have actually taken a nice take profit one here, which would have ensured that I exited the trade in profit, right? Because I actually had a very tight stop loss at, like I said, 0.3%. So that would have actually ensured a very small win. But, the thing is, the loss was so minimal. Because it's just 0.3%. And because it's a really good entry. Because I know, okay, I'm expecting, and I don't know if this was the actual trade I took, but I'm like, okay, look, we came, we got the retest, got another retest. I'm going to assume that we're holding this resistance as support now, and we're going to get a move to the upside, because I was really expecting the 55K, which we did get, just not on my time clock. And maybe I was grasping at straws on the 1 minute time frame, but whatever the case, the loss is so minimal because it was such a good entry. And it's like, if you're keeping your losses small and you're locking your profits, you're going to be profitable. Because yesterday, I started out the day in a long, then I took this short. Both of those were very good trades. And then this one got stopped out. Even though I had the opportunity to take some profit and make sure it wasn't stopped out. I wasn't thinking, right? I was busy. So that's how we're going to set our stop losses and find those golden entries, those GEs, those golden entries, Camilla says Bitcoin about to dump, ETH about to pump. Who else do we have in the chat here? Shout out to Daniel Prinsloo. What a great guy. We got a lot of people in here today. May God bless all of you. Oh, yep. Shout out to Drew, who says 1:37 p.m. equals 13:37 p.m. Yeah, you're right. 13:37. Thank you. Yeah, my mind is all over the place. 13:37. Yeah, so I guess that was right around here. That just doesn't look right. That's not. Maybe that is right. Maybe I had another level of support. Oh yeah, I must have. I had a level of support right around 54, exactly 54K. So yeah, this was right. Wait. I don't know if this was the trade, guys. I don't know. Whatever the case, my point is still made here. All right, let's take a look at some other things real quick. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum getting some nice pumpage, getting some very, very nice pumpage actually. Let's take a look at the 4-hour here. Yeah, so Ethereum is looking super nice, guys. Super nice. Coming into some nice resistance as well. So keep that in mind, right? Ethereum is coming into some resistance. So right now we have it is breaking out. It's breaking out of this resistance. It's looking super nice. Am I? I think I am in an Ethereum long. Let me just double check. I have to get onto my Bybit on my phone. I'm pretty sure I'm long on Ethereum. If I am, then probably some of my TPs got hit. So Ethereum, guys, on the daily time frame, Ethereum is looking super nice. Money flow is getting thick. We've got a tight trigger wave printing here. Things are looking super nice. These are my targets for Ethereum, guys. My next target for Ethereum is 2714. That's a fib extension level. And then we have 2929, another fib extension, and then 3200. Those are fib extension levels for Ethereum. And this is looking extremely bullish, guys, because we had a W, which is just looking super nice. Sorry, guys, managing my trades on my phone here while I'm doing this. So yeah, this is looking super bullish. Basically, the way I would be playing Ethereum, well, if I was currently not in a trade, is I wouldn't be looking to long right now. That's just the way I trade. That's my style, right? I feel like if you were going to trade this breakout, you kind of missed the opportunity. We were running into this resistance for a number of days, and now we're breaking out of the resistance. And if you're going to long this, I would really wait for, a retest. I would wait for the retest, which it looks like very well could get here, right? Wait for the retest, and make sure you're seeing things like what we just spoke about. And of course, the problem is a lot of times when things are pumping off the chain like this, right? Like this is the chain, okay, right here, this resistance, and you can see that Ethereum is off of the chain, right? It's off the chain, but we if we can close a candle above this previous candle close and we hit a new all-time high, that's obviously super bullish. But to find a good entry, here's the problem. A lot of people will FOMO into a trade. They see something pump, they get in. By the time they get in, the pump's already over. Just keep in mind, y'all. Keep in mind that it's always best. It's always best to. It's up to how you want to trade, right? You could totally FOMO in and make a lot of money. I'm not saying you can't, but it's always best to wait for something, right? Like wait for us. If we come up to this resistance, you probably could get a scalp short, and then we come up, and then you could trade when we come above this resistance, get some kind of consolidation and get some upward momentum, or wait when we come back to retest this level, and then enter along there. But as far as entering a position right now, I would not. That's just me. That is just me. Bitcoin also pumping now again. We just are coming back up to play with this resistance. We shall see what happens, guys. We shall see what happens. I mean, it's very, very possible. It's also extremely possible that we don't actually get the red dot here and that we just get a continuation, right? That happens to us a lot. Like, it looks like we're about to print the red dot, but then whoop, we get a huge pump. That could totally happen, guys. Totally could happen. So in the event that that does happen, keep your eyes on this resistance. Okay, and as we're coming up to the resistance, if you see something like this, where Bitcoin is showing us a very clear direction. Let me see if I can find showing us very, very clear, like where money flow is getting thicker on the lower time frames, momentum is getting higher on the lower time frames, then we can expect that we're going to kind of break out from that. But man, Ethereum right now is looking pretty good. Another way we could look for a trade on Ethereum is, it looks like we're about to consolidate a little bit after this initial breakout. So you could also look for some kind of formation of, some kind of a flag and trade that. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But remember, this is the initial breakout. I wouldn't long here. Potentially, this could also be like a swing failure pattern, which a swing failure pattern is basically, and I don't know if it is or not right now, but it's basically, it would have to be where we come up, hit a new all-time high, and then we just dump back down. And then, you could actually look for a short if you wanted to. All right, I know that I'm kind of rambling now. So let's drop into the chat, and let's see if anybody has any other questions. And if not, I can look at some altcoins, and then I'm going to have to cut the stream simply because it's a little bit late. It's a little bit late. Dwayne wants to know, how high do I think ETH will be in July? It really depends on what Bitcoin does. I know I keep saying this, but I'm expecting Bitcoin to give us one of these things, right? I'm expecting Bitcoin to do one of these, okay? And if for some reason Bitcoin comes super low and we come down below like the 35K level, that could mean it's the end of the bull market, right? It could. I'm not. We need to keep all things on the table. If the bull market continues, then what do I think for Ethereum? I do absolutely believe that by July, for sure, we will probably be at the $3,000 level. I really do believe that. If we take our Fibonacci on the daily time frame, and if we look at this as an entire move to the upside, where we're taking it from the swing low, was it the swing low here, to this swing high? Let me take my Fibonacci extension right now. Trend-based Fib extension from this swing low to this swing high to this swing low. I mean, if we're assuming that the uptrend continues, then these are our targets in the uptrend. And clearly, we're very clearly in an uptrend on the daily time frame. Nobody would look at this and say we're in a downtrend or anything like that, right? If this was the 5-minute time frame, people would be saying, if you're scalping on the 5-minute time frame, people would be looking for entries every time we come down and test this 21 EMA. And so it's very clear that we're in an uptrend right now. And so if the bull market continues, then within a few months, definitely at the $3,000 level, for sure. Not financial advice, but that's my opinion. Munir Hamid says ETH will crash so badly. Andrew Sykes wants to know about the crown indicator. Yeah, the crown indicator is an indicator that I use in indicator. If you go to indicators and type KROWN, the crown trading RSI plus EMA plus control zones. This is a secondary confirmation that I use along with Market Cipher. It gives us a blue. The blue line is an RSI. telling us the relative strength index, and then this gray line is an exponential moving average. When the RSI crosses above the exponential moving average, it's very bullish. When it crosses below the exponential moving average, it's very bearish. This is the daily time frame. But if we just draw a vertical line at the crosses, whoopsie daisy. Well, whoopsie daisy there. I drew a horizontal line instead of a vertical line. If we just draw a vertical line at the crosses, we can see that every time it crosses under, I keep getting my horizontals and verticals mixed up. Do you guys do that? Every time it crosses under, we get a move to the downside, and then on the flip side of that coin, every time it crosses upwards, we get a move to the upside, right? Would you look at that? It's beautiful. And so what it does is it just acts as a secondary confirmation that things are heading in the direction that we want. It's also very nice because if the general direction of this thing is going down, right, then it gives us like the general direction of the price as well, right? If the white line and the blue line are going down together, that usually means, yeah, we're coming down. It's also good for finding divergences, right? Like we could just see very clearly this massive divergence forming on the Ethereum chart. So yeah, it's not a stochastic RSI. It's just an RSI and an EMA together. It's just a nice indicator. I like it. I use it a lot with my 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. I do. The hash ribbons indicator. I've never heard of the hash ribbons indicator, Crypto Keeper. Can I just look for it? Hash ribbons. I've literally never heard of this thing before. It's giving us a buy on Ethereum, and that's on the daily, and it's also giving us a buy, I guess, for Bitcoin on the daily. Yeah, I don't really know how to use this thing, to be honest with you. I do not know. I have to look into it, I guess. It looks like yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks to me like something that I wouldn't really use as much just because I don't know. I don't have any way to use it right now because I have Market Cipher. I could see how it would be a good secondary confirmation tool. I'll have to look at this more. Let me star it so that I have it in my favorites. My favorites. Put it in my favorites, all right, y'all? Okay, Crypto mentioned it in his video yesterday. Crypto Gal 0411 says, how do you know if it's a true retest or bounce on smaller time frame if it plays around for a bit first, like that 5-minute example? I look for, Crypto Gal, a lot of different things. So I will look for, not only will I look for the retest, but I'll also see, do I see direction? Do I see divergence? And eventually I'm going to have to make a decision based on the probabilities that I have stacked in my favor, understanding that it could be a loss. But really we're just trying to stack the probabilities in our favor. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stack the probabilities in our favor. So you could say, okay, I know that even though we got the retest on a smaller time frame, it could still fall below. But because I see a divergence, because I see direction, because I see money flow moving up or down, I'm going to enter because I think it's a high probability trade, and I know that the loss will be small because it's right on a support, right? It's right on the support. So if I'm wrong, I have a very, very clear invalidation point. A very, very clear invalidation point. Because here's the thing, guys. You're not going to win every trade. You're absolutely not. But if you have high probability entries, you're going to win more than you're going to lose. And if you take profit on the way up, you can have like some very good trades. Like, the trade I took yesterday even though it got stopped out, I had the opportunity to have this be a break-even trade or even potentially a small profit. I had that potential. I wasn't being diligent. I didn't set my orders. Instead, I went out to plant potatoes, and I was like, I had my phone and my computer like not. It was just it was. I honestly shouldn't have been in that trade. But the point is, if you have the good entries, that will negate your risk and give you the opportunity to take profit while in profit. At the very least, have a break-even trade. At the very worst, have a small loss, and then just wait for the next trade. Just wait for the next trade. Strange Magic. What's my stop loss strategy when in a winning trade? Okay, so here's usually what I do, right? Let's just say, for example, how do you say it? Example, right? An example. Let's just say, as an example, that I am going to be in a long position right here. Oops, all those things come back on automatically, right? Let's say I want a long right here, right? What I'll do is I set multiple take profits. So I might take some profit out when we come to the 21 EMA right here. I might take like anywhere between 10 and 50% depending on my expectations for that trade. And then once I'm in profit, a lot of times what I'll do is I will move my stop loss up a little bit to still give some play room, because a lot of times we'll come up. Like if price will come up, hit take profit 1, then come down and even come down to some drawdown before we hit take profit 2. So I might move it up a little bit, still keeping it below the support. But then if we do come up and hit take profit 2, like we hit take profit 1, come down a little bit, hit take profit 2, then I'll actually just move the stop loss into profit here, so that like and set some sell orders up higher in case we hit that. But making sure that, even if we do hit the stop loss, the trade itself is a winning trade. That's kind of how I deal with it, to be honest with you. Brian H., how do you take profit without closing the long/short? Great question, Brian H. Well, I do have a video about that. If you go to youtube.com, on the internet, okay? I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. Hey, CryptoFace is live right now. He's been live. That's probably why I've got a smaller crowd. Let's check out what CryptoFace is doing. CryptoFace making the gains, just a nice little $64,000. No big, nothing too big, right? Let's shout him out. Shout out to RY Andy in CryptoFace's chat. And so if you come back to my YouTube channel here and we go to videos, back here, Bybit tutorial, right here, taking partial profits in Bybit, managing open trades. Yeah. Managing open trades. This is the video. Is Bitcoin having a correction? Yeah, I mean we hit a resistance. Bitcoin had a little bit of downward movement. I actually was shorting this, but like I was saying, I do think that we're gonna come and hit higher. This is the 1 hour time frame here. If we're able to break above this with conviction, I think. Not financial advice, but you guys know my targets from earlier in the video. You guys know my targets from earlier in the video. Okay? So, let's see what happens here. I'm kind of expecting some consolidation to happen. First. Okay? Don't jump the gun. Y'all. Boris says, FOMO is always best. Felix, do I explain? RY Andy, shout out to RY Andy, man. You're a busy guy on the YouTubes. Yes, Felix, I do explain that in the course, guys. I do explain that in the course. Mega Skaters 11, what are the targets? Mega Skaters 11, I go over that in the beginning of the stream. Yeah, the course goes over that. I'll drop that in the chat also. Boom. Also, guys, while I'm showing the course, make sure to like the video because we only have 200 likes. If you're not yet on Bybit, if you use my affiliate link, you can get up to $1,610 plus 15% interest. Different offers they have in there. If you don't have Market Cipher, you can get a 5% discount with this link and this coupon code. And yeah, that's about it as far as shilling goes. Payson Allen, great question, Payson Allen. I like your fish eye or whatever that is. Says I've been putting 10 to 15% of each paycheck into crypto. Should I wait for a correction? My strategy, Payson, is no. I just always will buy crypto, regardless of the price. I buy that certain amount. I just do it. I just do it. Crypto Gal, when you are in between your support and resistance lines, what time frame do you go to set take profit levels? Usually lower time frames, and I just look for sticking points. Joshua Chen, it really depends on what you want. I go over this in the course a lot. Also, I have videos about it too. You can check out like how to trade in the bear market video. Yeah. The Jason Casper like button is going parabolic, guys. FOMO into the Jason Casper like button. Shout out to Durgesh Dedhia. You have a good day too, man. You have a good day too. Guys, there's a lot of coins that I've never really heard of. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, so, you know, he entered a short. You know, I entered a short. I'm pretty sure a number of my take profits got hit on that short during this stream. And now we're coming up again. So, yeah, here's the thing. That's why you have a good entry, right? That's why you have a good entry. Because we came down a good amount. I don't think all my take profits got hit because I had them set all the way down to this area. But, you know, remember, it was very possible that we consolidate here for a little while, right? It's very possible we consolidate here in a little while. When we're trading the counter trend, it's not going to be as smooth sailing as when we're trading the trend, right? I mean, look at look what happened yesterday here, right? We come up, we get this massive move to the upside, and there's plenty of opportunity to short here. The two really good shorts that we could have taken. But in between those shorts, we come back up, right? We're really just consolidating. The pullback is a consolidation, and you know, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So if you have good risk management, if you have a good entry, and you're confident in that entry, then just stick to it. Take profit when you're in profit, and use good risk management, and it'll be all good in the hood. All good in the hood. Okay. People watching both streams. Green Dot just printed 1 hour on ETH, says Bill Hyde. That's very bullish. Let's see. Did it actually confirm? No, but it's printing. Yeah, ETH is looking, it is looking bullish, guys. Like, I'm not going to lie. ETH is looking super bullish. But remember, whenever we have some kind of parabolic move to the upside, we're going to get some kind of move to the downside. It's just, so don't feel like, if you're not long, don't FOMO in. You can, but look, we have parabolic move for 4 hours, and then we retest. Then we have, another parabolic candle, come down. Parabolic move, come down. Parabolic move, come down. So, just be careful. Just be careful with it, y'all. There's always going to be another opportunity to enter a trade, right? There's always going to be another opportunity. And when this happened, There was an opportunity. But y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all do what y'all want to do. You know, I mean, overall, Ethereum is, so if you're looking for like a long-term trade, I mean, Ethereum has just recently printed this dot, you know, this green dot. It's very possible that we come up and we hit these levels. It's very, very, very possible. It's very, very, very possible that we come up today and hit, you know, 27.14. What's old is new, says Jason. How do you get your stop losses set so you don't panic sell when short time frames drop? I go over it. I go over it in my video in this stream, where I have a plan going in. I have a good entry. I stack the probabilities in my favor, and I understand that there's a potential that I could lose, and that's part of trading, guys. Is losing trades. Everyone loses. We've seen CryptoFace lose, right, on stream. You're not going to win every single trade. It's just the way it is. So we need to put that into our trading plan. Losses need to be a part of the plan. Otherwise, if you don't have losses accounted for when you have a plan, you're going to get totally wrecked. You have to factor in losses. That's just the way it has to be. You're not going to win every single trade. So if you're panicking that price is plummeting, if you're actually panicking, then you probably are risking too much. Of course, if I'm in a trade and I see that momentum, Market Cipher is telling me we're coming down, then I'll get out of the trade. Like, I will get out of the trade. Like, I was in a trade. When was I in a trade? Recently. I was recently in a trade. Oh, man. Yeah, right here. Okay, right here. So, okay, we came up above the 4-hour 21 EMA. We got to bounce off of it. I was thinking, okay, very potentially we could, this was for Ethereum, we could come up and see some higher levels because we came up above the 4-hour. We're bouncing off of it, right? We came up, we hit my take profit 1, and then we hit this higher level here too, and I took some profit, and then I said, it looks like we're coming down. And the reason I said it looks like we're coming down, I got out of the trade before my stop loss got hit. The reason is on Market Cipher. If we take a look, when I entered the trade, it looked like we were about to print a green dot right here on the 12-minute, which would have given us this upward movement, right? But instead, it was a green dot fake out, right? We didn't get the green dot. We started to come down more. VWAP looked like it was going to curve up, right? It looked like it would have been a really nice trade. VWAP goes, pfft. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get out of the trade because I already took some profit. I'm already in profit. I'm not going to turn the winner into the loser, right? So, I took some profit, went in profit, and then dipped out. Jose V, check out my video on my channel. How do you take partial profit? I got a vid up in here. Guys, FOMO into the like button. FOMO into the like button. Vinny Crypto, I can't believe you paid $3.99 for that question. Jose, I'm going to link the vid to you, man. I'm going to send you the link. My brother. Let's come to my channel here. Go to videos. Go down here. How to take partial profit, Bybit. Okay, Bybit. Copy link location. Dump it in the chat here. And if you don't have Bybit, Jose, which obviously you do, you could use my referral link, and it would give me a little affiliate commission if you feel like being nice. But I know everyone who watched this channel already has Bybit, so it's not even really worth it. May God bless you, Jose. How's the Litecoin doing? Asks James. Well, let's take a look at the Litecoin. Well, the Bitcoin, we know how that's doing. The Bitcoin is doing quite well. Let me remove this now. Let's go to the Litecoin. Doing pretty well. Doing pretty dang well, right? We got the green dot on the daily printing above the 21 EMA. We're above all our resistances. Doing very well. Doing very, very well. Let's go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, same deal. Looks like we need to cool off a tad. Looks like we need to cool off a tad. 3 hour, looks like we need to cool off a tad. 2 hour, looks like we need to cool off a tad, right? Before we continue more upward, like some consolidation, some sideways movement, maybe some downward movement before we move up. Shout out to Vinny Crypto, who says, I love the entertainment here. We'll follow this channel. Thanks, man. Thanks for following the channel. Oh, Bill Hyde, the DIY guy, says he doesn't have Bybit. Well, Bill Hyde, man, if you sign up using my link, you could get some nice bonuses. They've got like, you can get up to $2,000, I think. But you have to deposit a lot. They're deposit bonuses. And then they've got, you can earn interest just by chilling out there. And I've got a whole bunch of other rewards in the rewards hub if you use the affiliate link. Yeah, you can check it out, man. Shout out to TMM69 who appreciates the videos. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Shout out to Shushant Kumar who retracted his message. Shout out to you, brother. And then he says, bro, CryptoFace shows his position. Why don't I? Yeah, that's a good question. I do not want to show my positions. I show sometimes my percentages, but I just don't feel comfortable to show my actual position size. That's not my style, man. That's just not my style. Even in my Discord, I don't want people to show the actual amount of money that they're making on these trades because there's a few reasons. First of all, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter the actual dollar amount in your trade. It matters the percentage. Secondly, I don't want anybody, especially people who have smaller accounts or are newer to trading, to be tempted to over leverage anything because a lot of times people get wrapped up too much in focusing on the amount of money that they're making. And when you see people raking in the dough and you think to yourself, I could rake in that much dough too. All I have to do is up the leverage a little bit. That's when people start to get wrecked, man. That's when people start to get wrecked. It's just not my style. And the purpose of this channel is education and learning. It's not about it's just a different style. That's it. Thank you, Shushant Kumar. Yeah, David Joseph. Yeah, people show up at your house, right? Yeah. But anyway, look, and here's the thing, guys. I am no crypto face, right? I'm not making $800,000 a trade, right? I'm just not. Okay. I do well, but I'm not doing that well. But I have a different style as well. And who knows, things might change over time. But, I come from a different background. Like, I was really into Forex for a long time before I was into crypto trading. But I've been... Toda, Roy. Toda. He says, may Hashem bless me. May Hashem bless you as well. Yeah, appreciate all you guys in the chat here. And I'm going to actually have to cut this stream because I've been on for a while and I got some farm stuff to do. So, yeah. May the Lord bless all of you in the name of Yeshua, the name of Jesus, the Messiah. And, yeah, Marcus, I am actually a farmer. Yep, I'm a homesteader. Africa wants to know, when can we see your face? I don't know if I ever want to show my face. I don't know if I should ever show my face. What chickens to invest in, says David Joseph. David Joseph, it depends on what you want, right? If you just want eggs, then I recommend I recommend getting the red rocket, I think, chickens. Red Comet chickens, I think. Yeah, if you just want eggs and chickens that are resilient and they do really well, the Red Comets are great. However, the Red Comets are a crossbreed, so they won't actually reproduce if you're hatching your own eggs. You won't actually get these guys, okay? But these are friendly chickens. They're bred to lay an egg a day. They're good eggs. They're big eggs, and they're really nice chickens. I almost feel like they're all clones because they don't have much personality. Like my other chickens that are like super nice breeds, like purebred heritage breed chickens, right? They are, and also these are not dual purpose birds. These are egg laying birds. Like if you cook this thing, it might feed like, one or two people. But, yeah, they're skinny. But they all have the same personality. They all have the same exact personality. To me, I can't tell mine apart. My other chickens all have names, and then we have the red chickens. So, we've got, yeah, they might be Rhode Island Reds. I don't know. I don't know if these are. I think they're part Rhode Island Red, part something else. But I really like the Copperneck Marans. They're beautiful. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so this guy right here, let's see. This guy right here, this is, this is what my roosters look like. These guys, I like these, right? And this is what the hens look like. I have, one of my hens is named Runty, and then my other hen that looks like this is named Honeydew. And I had another hen named Fat Mama. I lost a lot of chickens this year. Fat Mama, poor Fat Mama. She was so fat. She was so fat. Every time I picked her up, I'm like, man, Fat Mama, you would make a nice dinner. You would. She got her head ripped off by a ferocious beast. It was very sad. Oh, poor Fat Mama. It's sad, guys. It is sad. But yeah, these are good chickens. Fat Mama and the Copperneck Maran hens, they're dual purpose birds. They're fat. You could eat those things, and they also lay eggs, but not as consistently as the red rockets. And the roosters, they're bold. They're bold creatures. They're very protective. They're very protective of the hens. And then also Americanas. These things, I like them a lot because they have fuzzy faces, right? They have fuzzy faces, and they lay the blue eggs. The eggs are blue. And I had a hen named Fuzzy Face, actually. Oh, poor Fuzzy Face. She got sick, and she's no longer with us, poor thing. But they're beautiful chickens, right? Those are the chickens that I have. And you can get the Americanas in all different kinds of colors, too. I mean, like, look at this one. Look at this Fuzzy Face. Aw. She's got such a fuzzy face, And you can even get white ones. You get white ones, too. Shout out to Chris Scott, who has 5 Americanas. You had Matt Hello asks, what was the beast that got Fat Mama? I don't know. It could have been a hawk. It could have been a falcon. I don't know. But man, that was sad because I really liked Fat Mama. She had such a personality. It's funny, the Americanas and the Marans, they all have individual personalities, but then the red chickens, I'm telling you, they're just clones. Like you have one, you've seen one, you've seen them all. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Yeah. Do I feed them corn? No, I don't feed them corn. Fuzzy Face is not related to Crypto Face, Damage Cat. And Burn It 710 loves blue eggs, expensive though. Yeah. So get some Americanas. And no, I don't feed them corn. I feed them. We feed them a lot of food scraps. We feed them organic feed, and I don't think it has soy or corn in it. I'm not sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember. Feed them mealworms, and we let them free range too. So they're out there foraging for food, eating all those bugs. Lade HF says, "Yo, Jason Casper, what is more important when scalping? Watching for a rebound of the 21 EMA or trigger waves?" Right, RYND. I feed my chickens Bitcoin. I do. Yeah, so it's really both. Lade HF. It's really both. So if if you're seeing a bounce off the 21 EMA and we're in an uptrend, I a lot of times don't even really look at Market Cipher, because by the time Market Cipher is showing us upward direction, like you missed your entry, right? So I just take a risk on that, right? I take a risk on it. I'll be real with y'all. I take a risk. Like for example, I've got some trades in here. Let's see. Well, no, there was one recently. There was a recent bounce right before the crash, where I saw it happening, and I might not have posted it in here. Guys, because I recently had to consolidate my trading channels into one. Oh yeah, right here. So this was Ethereum. We came down. We were bouncing off the 55 EMA, and I added to my position. I guess I was trying to ride this swing up here, and I added to my ETH position right here. And so the thing is, like, I knew that even though we're printing a red dot, and I knew we were going to come down more, I still knew we were going to get a bounce off there. So you enter, and then you can. It went up 5.25% from the entry. And I didn't even really wait for Market Cipher to confirm. Because you got to be quick with that. You got to be real quick with that. Let me see where else. I remember one time at like 4 in the morning, I shorted that. The spider nightmare dream. There's a spider nightmare dream. My wife had a nightmare of a spider right here. We come down and we get the bounce, and I longed it. It happened so quick. You can look at the lower time frame. You can look at like the 1 minute when you're getting the bounce to see direction. But a lot of times you just got to take that risk and say, all right, I know that historically, if we're in an uptrend, the bounce off the 21 EMA gives us a good bounce. I'm going to take it. And then obviously, you use Market Cipher as confirmation. And guys, honestly, like, here's the thing. Market Cipher is meant to give you confirmation of your technical analysis, okay? It's a great tool. You can use it by itself, don't get me wrong. But my style is I do my technical analysis on the chart, and I come up with a plan, and then I use Market Cipher to confirm my plan. So, if you already have a plan in place, then obviously you should be waiting for your confirmations on Market Cipher. And it depends on what strategy you're trading to. Like if you're trading an algorithmic strategy, like if you come to my channel, you come over here, and you go to playlists, and you go to Market Cipher tutorials. Okay, I have a lot of strategies in here where you're basically just using Market Cipher only to find good trade entries. The 424 strategy, a great strategy, a great one. There's a lot of things you can do where you're still learning technical analysis, where you can use Market Cipher to enter trades. But eventually you need to get yourself to the point where you know basic TA, okay, and then you're using Market Cipher as confirmation for your TA plans, okay? Hope that makes sense. Soul Extender, no, it's not true that Facebook bought Bitcoin. They might have invested in Bitcoin. But what do you mean by they bought Bitcoin? Sorry, Vinny Crypto, that Chicken TA is over. Yeah, CryptoFace, he's been live for a while, guys. He's been live for a while. Is he still live? Yeah, he's still live. Let's pop over there. Let's pop over here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, he's live. Cool. Yeah, he's live. Okay. Yeah, here we are. Did crypto... Yeah, is there news now that Facebook... It looks like people are talking about that in this chat too here. People are talking about that in Crypto Faces chat as well. All right, guys. Enough of my concupiscence. I'm going to head out now. May you guys be blessed. Receive this blessing in Hebrew. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha Shalom, which in English means, may the Lord bless you and keep you, may he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you, and may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach, Elohei Yisrael, in the name of Jesus, the Messiah, the God of Israel. Amen, amen. And shout out to Alpha, who says, a fellow farmsteader and follower of Yeshua Bar Yosef. Interesting that you're using the Aramaic there instead of the Hebrew. I like that. Guys, how do you join the group? Okay, you can become a Patreon, patreon.com/Jason Casper. And, yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Peace, peace, peace.